Peter from Mango, and this is Compliance Conversations. We're doing something different this time. We're actually on the road in San Diego with our partners from around the world. We're taking them to a marketing conference so that they can learn some special techniques. But we've got Chris from FQM in Scotland, and today he's going to talk about lessons learned. And we've obviously got Craig from Mango here from the marketing department. This is his initiative to bring everyone to San Diego. So over to you, Chris. Can you tell us what lessons learned means?
Yeah, sure. Lessons learned is a methodology of a business collecting data and information to assist them to drive improvements in an organisation.
Okay, so how would an organisation normally do it? Is it on spreadsheets or do they use software?
Typically it's recording information from various sources into one spreadsheet and trying to use that data to drive improvements.
Okay, so Craig, you've audited a few companies in your past, so it sounds like it's a flawed system because you're putting onto an Excel spreadsheet. So you've seen these things, so I'd assume that you've seen people using that data and producing graphs looking for trends, or do they just put it on there and that's all that they do with it?
Typically that's what they do. They just put it on a spreadsheet and more than likely they'll just forget about it. And the spreadsheet sits around, the auditor turns up and they say, oh, here's some lessons learned, but nothing's actually done with that. So I asked Chris, is this what happens in New Zealand? What happens in Scotland? Is it a similar?
Very typical, and we even have coined the phrase lesson recording.
Right.
Because if you record that information and do nothing with it, you're not actually learning any lessons. It's easy to collect lots and lots of data. It's easy to run trends, but if you do nothing with it, then it's a waste of time, a waste of effort.
Mm-hmm. Why don't people do anything with the data? Are they just not trained in this, or like the techniques? I know Craig's got some blogs and some videos on different things like scattergrams and
flow charts,
run charts and things like that. Do you think they just don't understand that? They've collected it, the procedure says something goes wrong, put it onto register, and they forget to do that, or they're not trained, or they don't feel confident?
I don't think there's one size fits all, and it's important to say some organisations do undertake it well, but I think in general people are too busy doing the day job. A project finishes, they have a lessons learned, they record the information about the lesson, and they move on to the next project. What they should be doing is they should be looking at the lessons learned register to see is there anything they can take into the new project that could improve it, could make it more successful.
When they do they ever put a dollar value on the lessons learned? Because quite often that can be a driver for within business. Like accountants like numbers, so if you can show lessons learned may save £5,000 a year, it's going to get a bit more traction and support from the accountant versus the accountant's not going to do it if they go, oh, we have 5 of these things this year. They go, that doesn't really mean 5's just a small number, I don't really care. But you put a dollar value on it, suddenly it becomes a little bit more important.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think when it comes to recording the value of a lessons learned or an error or an improvement, I think there's more training needed in that area though. I genuinely feel that the understanding of the cost of an error is not often known.
Right.
So I think there is an opportunity to make greater awareness, and I think absolutely using a value, pound value we would say, rather than dollar. I think it does give you the opportunity to present it to leadership team, to financial people, and for it to be a real drive to improve things in an organisation.
So it sounds like the senior management in the company needs to support the compliance person and tell them what sort of data they want out of it so that they can make some meaningful decisions.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually I would go further than that and say it's not just the compliance person, because the methodology can be used in anything, any opportunity where you're undertaking a project, implementing something new. If we understand the cost of that error and how we can put it right, I think it can be used across the board, but it does need the support from a leadership team to drive that, rather than just always thinking about operations or production and the next project.
So the key message is record the stuff but do something with it. Present that information to your senior management team, put a dollar value on it, because that will give more meaning to the senior management team. For those Mango users out there, we use the improvement module for doing that, and there's a section there, cost of improvement. So this is where you can put those costs in, rework, investigation costs, and raw material costs if they're there. So that's for the Mango people, but thank you, Chris, thank you, Craig, and we'll be off to the conference in about 10 minutes. Thank you.